ladies and gentlemen on YouTube. My name is Robert Serrano Jr., and I am the natural born thriller. Because I'm the natural, and I'm born to be the thriller. And if you don't like it, beat it, because no one wants to be defeated. So welcome everyone to the SmackDown and 205 Live review, the show from January 23rd, 2018. And for today's review, I'm going to kick off with SmackDown review. This will be your SmackDown Live review, the show from January 23rd, 2018, and they were in Washington, D.C. Your commentators were Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, and Tom Phillips. Alright, let's get this all set up. Let's get to the show. Not only this show will be the January 23rd edition for SmackDown, this will also be the Go Home Show edition for the Royal Rumble, for this, which is going to be this Sunday. So a lot's been going on when it comes to the builds for Royal Rumble. I guess you could say not much build was going on the show, but for the last few weeks. But with that being said, let's get to it. So the first hour started off with. One second, let me set this up. Very good. Alright. I also need to get my backup notes too. Okay. Alright, so the show opened up with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They start the promo by letting us know that they're going to become the next first ever co-WWE champion. Doesn't matter if it's either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. They're going to basically want to be co-champions for the very first time. And after when they're done being getting that championship, doesn't matter if it's Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. Also, they're going to start adding more insult to injury to AJ Styles after the match. Come to Royal Rumble, and they're going to start beating down AJ Styles. Sure enough, just brings out AJ Styles, the WWE champion, and basically comes out. And by the way, I should mention too, by the way, when it comes to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's promo, they kept saying "yup" after their sentences and all that. But also, AJ Styles comes out and starts, referring to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. When it comes to Kevin and Sami, Cammy. I don't know what WWE trying to do with this and everything. It's not working. If WWE trying to have the fans to chant for Cammy, it's not working at all. So, and when it comes to the WWE's fans, based on what they're trying to do here, I think they think it's a stupid idea. They're trying to come up with something that the creative teams came up with, and lo and behold, the WWE creative teams had no creatives whatsoever. I mean, look what happened last night's Raw episode. But, anyways, so yeah, AJ Styles said, okay. So AJ Styles, he kept talking about how they're gonna lose that son. They're talking about how what Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was saying about how the AJ Styles gonna lose a championship belt, and then AJ Styles replied by saying nope. Basically, he kept saying nope after finishing his sentences about what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was saying by saying nope. So basically, he's crapping down on the yup movement. With him saying nope. So then also AJ Styles was basically done here. But then also the promo continued on with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They're talking about how AJ Styles, basically refreshing AJ Styles' memory that it was AJ Styles who suggested this handicap match to begin with, where Dan Bryan mistaken AJ Styles, where he ends up putting the WWE Championship title on the line. So the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn show another video clip for AJ Styles where AJ Styles will take on Owens and Zayn at the same night, I believe. So then they decided to do a match where Owens and Zayn basically wanted AJ Styles to prove his point. To face these guys at once. So all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan comes out, and he basically was gonna talk on behalf of AJ Styles, but then AJ Styles cuts him off and saying, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna he's like basically saying to Daniel Bryan that I don't need you to be my advocate anymore. He could do it. He could do it on his own. The whole thing. Yeah. AJ Styles. I'm gonna do it on my own.
Hey, you brush your teeth a little bit.
I'm gonna do it on my own. He's doing that. AJ Styles doing that again. I'm doing it on my own. Yeah, for those who don't know, that's a reference that Billy came out with from BlizzSportsNetwork.com. One of the members of the Blizz team. AJ Styles, he's got to do it on his own. Oh man. But anyways, so AJ Styles decided, you're on to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that it's going to be, he's going to face those guys one at a time. We'll get to that later. As we'll, I'll let you know who ends up being first. But on that, the opening segment, I thought it was alright. No, it wasn't anything bad, so I thought it was alright. We got Jey Uso being accompanied by Jimmy Uso versus Chad Gable. Chad Gable is being accompanied by Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, so the match happens. Match itself, it was decent between both Jey Uso and Chad Gable. Chad Gable, by the way, he was pretty good in the match, and then also Jey Uso started to pick up some steam in this match too. So far there was no interferences from Jimmy Uso or from Shelton Benjamin, which I was surprised. This match actually ended clean, a very good clean match. But during the when they had the match, they did this commercial break. When it comes to the picture-on-picture thing that they always do. And Gable ends up winning the match in the end. After they came out from commercial break, and they wrestled for a good 4 to 5 minutes, I believe. When they came out from the commercial break. And yeah, Chad Gable ends up picking the win. He ends up winning with the rolling chaos derby, which is you get your opponent from the back from the rear, you run into the turnbuckle, smash into the turnbuckle, roll backwards, and then take your opponent along with you. And you still got them locked in, and then go for the German suplex. Shades of Doug Williams. So yeah, Jey Uso basically he's got to take the loss here because WWE they pay that way when it comes to Jey Uso's being in trouble with the law right now. But when it comes to with the DWI. So next we get to Renee Young interviewing Shinsuke Nakamura. Basically Renee Young asks Shinsuke about what's he gonna do in the Rumble match when it comes to when it comes to him winning the Rumble. And Nakamura says simple. He's gonna drive his knee into the faces of anyone that's in the Rumble. Basically need to face. That's what basically it was all about. And also, Baron Corbin comes in to interrupt. Why? Because I don't know. Maybe Baron Corbin wanted to just set an example. So basically, he was saying to Nakamura that he's not going to win the Rumble. He's going to win the Rumble. That he's going to be going to WrestleMania. And then Nakamura says, let's Rumble tonight. So yeah, the match was basically that was all the sub match between Nakamura and Corbin. I'll get to that later. Let's get to Ty Dillinger. He does his a selfies of himself, talking about him being in the Royal Rumble. But yeah, it's basically he's gonna be in the Rumble. So, and yeah, there you go. Next we get to Naomi versus Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan is being accompanied by Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan from the Riot Squad. Matches. Sorry about that, folks. I got distracted there. So Naomi and Liv Morgan. I thought they worked a good match here. I think they won a commercial break at one point. And let me double check. No, they didn't. Okay, they never went to commercial break, but the match was short though. So during the a good 2 minutes of the match, also in Natalya, Lana, and Carmella shows up. Why? I don't know. Why didn't they show up? Why couldn't they just show up after the match? I don't know. But to me, it was a waste of time. And then all of a sudden, Becky Lynch shows up too. And then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, Naomi goes for a sunset flip powerbomb to Liv Morgan. Basically, Naomi was on the apron. She goes for a sunset flip powerbomb while Liv Morgan is in the ring. And Naomi gets the win. So the match lasted 3 minutes. And not only Naomi beat Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan lost clean to Naomi. Unlike last week on SmackDown, Naomi has to be protected in the loss against Liv Morgan in that six women's tag team match. And then sure enough, we get to this match with with the Riot Squad didn't get involved. Natalia, Lana, Carmella did not get involved. Becky Lynch didn't even get involved. And then from out of nowhere, Naomi just gets a clean win over Liv Morgan. What the fuck was that? That was some fucking bullshit. I'm telling you right now, it's got to be some favoritism going on here with Naomi here. This is some fucking bullshit, man. So after the match, we get a preview about the Women's Royal Rumble, what's going to be about, when all these women get in there and they're rumbling basically. So yeah, and then Charlotte comes out and talks, and basically there's no need for her to come out there anyways. But she says Becky Lynch is showing how everyone for themselves and all that, and Charlotte says she'll face the winner at WrestleMania, whoever that may be, and yeah, there you go. Worthless promo, worthless segment, waste of time. Moving on. Now we get to the match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. Match itself was pretty decent. And in the end, Nakamura was going for the win here. He's very good ready to go for the Kinshasa. And all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, Randy Orton with an RKO on Shinsuke. I thought that was well done, the way it was done. So Randy Orton with an RKO out of nowhere, and that cost a DQ for Shinsuke to win the match. And then Baron Corbin gets an RKO for his trouble too. So yeah, Randy Orton showcasing that it's every man for himself for what comes to the Royal Rumble. I mean, because all he did is went for RKO on both Nakamura and Corbin. So, but it was good though. The way it was delivered by Orton with the RKO. Like I said, out of nowhere, it was pretty good. I thought it was because again who knows where he came from? He probably came from the crowd or came from under the ring. Who knows where he came from? But when it comes to the RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton came out of nowhere. So that was in hour number one. Talking about wrestling for hour number one. 3 matches. And moving on to hour number 2. In hour number 2, WWE announces. WWE they look back at Raw 25, and they show clips when it comes to every sports news talking about this and everything, sports internet, whatever, and all those type of sites and everything, and they talk about what a monumental moment it was and everything, and how what a fantastic show it was. Oh yeah, so that's the people that were at Manhattan Center that got ripped off. Those fucking crooks. Now I'm talking about the entire WWE company. They're all fucking crooks. I hope those people from Manhattan Center got their monies back after that shit show they produced. Fuck out here. Raw 25 was fucking trash last night. So also I'm getting New Day coming out, because we're going to have this match between the New Day, teaming up with Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal and Rusev Day. So here's what happened. New Day comes out. They announced they're going to be in the Rumble. And as for the rest of what they said, I didn't give a fuck. Fuck those 3 mega faggot bitches. So then Bobby Roode comes out. He does his glorious entrance, and he's also the WWE United States Champion. For those who don't know, he's the new United States Champion. Bobby Roode cuts a promo how it's great to be United States Champion. He wants to be the greatest United States Champion of all time. And he said it's going to be simply glorious. But before he got to say glorious, all of a sudden the New Day started interrupting and saying spectacular and some other things they said. Fuck off. It's fucking New Day bitches. So also we get Jinder Mahal coming out. He's being covered by one of the Sin Brothers. Only one of the Sin Brothers was out there. I don't remember who it was, but who cares? It's Jinder Mahal. Who cares? But yeah, we got Rusev and Aiden English come out there, and they're known as Rusev Day. So the match happens. And Big E was at ringside too, by the way. So it was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods teamed up with Bobby Roode. I should mention that. But I thought to myself, wait a minute. Didn't last week on SmackDown that the WWE was going to have Rusev Day versus The Ascension? What the fuck happened with that? So I tweeted that on Twitter about that, because in case not everyone remember that segment last week, because it was just a few seconds of a segment that we had Breeze Dongle saying that Rusev Day wants a rematch and everything, and but it's not going to be against Breeze Dongle, it's going to be against The Ascension, and they're like, wait, what? So we get to the show, and all of a sudden there was no Ascension, no Breezango. So so instead of having a tag team match between Rusev Day versus the Ascension, we get Kofi, Xavier, and Rude versus Mahal, Rusev, and English instead. Now, the match itself, I thought it was alright. I didn't care about the New Day, but I thought the match was alright though. In the end, you got Xavier Woods going for the win over Alien English with a springboard elbow drop. Whatever. Fuck the New Day. And fuck Byron Saxton, that sissy. Talking about, how dare you install pancakes and everything. Fuck you, you fucking pussy. Getting worked up all because Corey Grace is insulting the New Day's pancakes. Won't you? I'm gonna take all those pancakes that New Day made and serve up your fucking ass, pussy. Sick and tired of the fucking New Day. So, anyways, now we move on to the main event. AJ Styles versus either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn is going to start off first. So, also, Shane McMahon comes out. He announced that it's going to be Sami Zayn is going to be taking us a look at the back first because it's going to be Kevin Owens versus versus AJ Styles first. And he also makes a stipulation that if Sami Zayn gets involved, then he's out of the title match. And then when Sami Zayn gets his opportunity against AJ Styles, if Kevin Owens gets involved, then he will be fired on the spot. So then we get to the match: AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. That's the first thing that started. And then seconds, AJ Styles wins the match. How it happened? Well, here's what happened. Kevin Owens was feigning a knee injury. In fact, let me get to my my backup notes here. So here's what happened. Kevin Owens misses the cannonball, and some reason his knee hit the turnbuckle, the corner, whatever. Styles kicks the knee. Styles goes for the calf killer, and Kevin Owens immediately taps out. And AJ Styles refuses to let go. So AJ Styles, keep putting more basically adding insult to injury. Also, Sami Zayn comes out to beat up on AJ Styles. And he continued on to beat on AJ Styles until finally the referee got has some restoring order here. So while we're having AJ Styles and Sami Zayn as the last match to end the show, Kevin Owens is being looked on by the trainers and a couple of referees, and they took a long ass time, folks, to get Kevin Owens on the stretcher. So sure enough, AJ Styles gets attack Kevin Owens before they even got a chance to put on the stretcher, and then Sami Zayn goes to close on AJ Styles. And by the way, folks, they kept going to commercial break in this show, during this entirety. So again, we're back to the commercial break. By the way, we see Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon looking on backstage, and yet they're not worried about what happened with Kevin Owens out there. So, but I guess we have trainers out there, that they're not concerned. So yeah, whatever. So AJ Styles is working on. I mean, Sami Zayn's working on AJ Styles. Wow, you got these trainers and referees. Three of those referees. Maybe it was two of them. Still trying to get Kevin Owens on the stretcher, and yet it's taking them fucking forever to put him on the stretcher. Like, what the fuck? So also AJ Styles go after Kevin Owens after they finally put Kevin Owens on the stretcher, takes him over, and then Sami Zayn goes at. I'm sorry, AJ Styles went back in the ring. He got distracted a little bit, and then all of a sudden Sami Zayn out of nowhere with a hula kick, then he goes for the blue thunder bomb and gets a 3 count in the win. So yeah, your winner, Sami Zayn, which means at Royal Rumble, AJ Styles is going to retain his WWE Championship, which means it's going to be Sami Zayn who's going to be taking the loss here, not Kevin Owens. But after the match, basically Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens stand over AJ Styles, and that was it. That's how the show ends. So Kevin Owens was still showing the knee injury. So yeah, maybe that's what the injury like Kevin Owens got, the knee injury. Who knows? Whatever. Because keep in mind, Kevin Owens is still working the injury that he's going through. But the question is, what injury it is? Is it his knee? What is it? Is his fingers that's been bothering him since 2017, about a few months ago. I don't know. It's hard to tell because they're not explaining it. They're not explaining the injury that he's got. So much for WWE caring about their talents. All right. So, Total Wrestling File number 2. That's in the SmackDown, by the way. So, Total Wrestling File number 2. 2 matches. Well, actually, no, 3 matches actually. Because I've got the short match between Styles and Owens. So yeah, so Total Wrestling for SmackDown overall, when it comes to the January 23rd, 2018 edition, because there's, I guess, 3 matches from that first hour too. yeah. So far we had 6 matches on the show. So as far as this go home show edition, didn't do much to please me to watch the Royal Rumble this coming Sunday. But I was still gonna watch it though. But still, this is a poor way to do a go home show for to one of WWE's biggest pay-per-views in history, the Royal Rumble itself. But hell, I think they, to me, I think uh, they did a way better job than WWE did last night on Raw. But and also when it comes to the show as well, I thought the show was pretty better than Raw last night. But not now it wasn't a good show though. But I thought it was a whatever show. And keep in mind, it's just supposed to be the go home show. The WWE is supposed to sell us the idea, basically that they sell us the bullet points to why we should watch. Why should we watch? Why should we take invest our time to watch the Royal Rumble? And I think they failed to do that on the show, just like they failed to do it on Raw last night as well. Because keep in mind, they only care about the WWE Championship right now, and they only care about the Universal Championship coming into the pay-per-view, and they did so little to try to build up the Royal Rumble, other than having these wrestlers cut promos like, "Oh, I'm going to be in the Rumble, and I'm going to win the Rumble, and all that, and blah 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 blah." And especially when it comes to the Women's Royal Rumble too. So, but I'm going to do a preview of the Royal Rumble for tomorrow. So yeah, be on the lookout for that one. So my overall showing for the show, when it comes to SmackDown from the January 23rd, 2018 edition, it's better than Raw, but still wasn't a good show though. I thought it was just a whatever show, So I'm gonna go 5.5 out of 10. So now that being said, now it's time to move on to 205 Live. So this will be your WWE 205 Live review. The show from January 23rd, 2018. Still in Washington, D.C. This time with your commentators, Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph. And now let's get to what happened on the show. Now, for those who don't know about what's going on with Enzo Amore, folks, in case you didn't figure it out about what's going on with Enzo Amore, first let me talk about what happened yesterday. Enzo Amore from yesterday reports out there that he's been accused of sexual assault allegations to this woman that doesn't want to identify herself, and this happened back in 2016, I believe, around October. So yesterday this woman, I think she may have talked about it on Twitter, I believe. I don't remember if it was on Twitter or not, but the news came out there on Twitter and then on Facebook, and then everyone else started leaking those those reports. Even though he found out about that, and they decided to suspend Enzo Amore until the police investigation comes to fruition in Arizona. But then earlier today in the afternoon, the WWE has officially decided to release. That's right, Enzo Amore has been immediately fired by WWE. No more being the Cruiserweight champion. No more WWE superstar. He's done. Enzo Amore is gone, and now what they're gonna do with the Cruiserweight Championship? What they're gonna do a 205 Live now. When it comes to Enzo Amore with Enzo Amore and the Zoe Train, with Enzo Amore and the Nia Jax love angle. Well, here's what happened. Daniel Bryan, he opened up the show. He got a promo about Enzo Amore that he will no longer be part of 205 Live, and he has been stripped of the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, which by the way, good. Enzo Amore did not deserve that belt in the first place. He didn't deserve to be in 205 Live. He doesn't deserve being in the Cruiserweight because he fucking sucks. So thank God WWE fired this guy. I don't give a fuck that he's right now he's being kicked down. He's being kicked while he's down. I don't care about this whole thing with Enzo Amore being in WWE anymore, because this whole thing with Enzo Amore being annoying as fucking and all that. So. And this whole thing with Enzo Amore being sexually assaulting this woman is true. Hope he gets what's coming to him. Now he's not been proven guilty yet. Because again, police are under investigation of all this. But thank God he's fucking gone. He's no longer Cruiserweight champion, which means thank God he's fucking gone. So moving on. So Daniel Bryan decides to talk about how, you know, basically why Daniel Bryan is talking about this, because Daniel Bryan was part of the Cruiserweight Classics, back in 2016. Yeah, 2016, when they did the whole tournament. Daniel Bryan was part of was part of that show with Mauro Ranallo as a commentator. So Daniel Bryan decides to make an announcement that there'll be a first ever 205 Live general manager. And like, and I'm saying to myself, oh really? So after all this time that WWE has did the 205 Live show back in 2016, around, let's see, it was around September or October, one of those months. So they decided to now in 2018 to decide to have a general manager for the show, even though they never had a general manager before on the show, but now they decided to do have a general manager to be part of 205 Live. Now the question is, who's going to be? Is it going to be it's not it's either going to be a she or a he. It's going to be a new general manager for 205 Live, and that person, whoever that may be, will decide what's going to happen with the Cruiserweight Championship for next week on 205 Live. So yeah, and that's another thing. When it comes to Enzo Amore no longer be with the company because of that allegation, it was supposed to be Enzo Amore versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship at Royal Rumble. Now it's not. It wasn't mentioned it was going to be on the pre-show or on the main show, but it doesn't matter anyway because Enzo Amore's gone. So, in my opinion, they should have a Cruiserweight Rumble at the Royal Rumble to crown the new Cruiserweight champion. But no, they decided to worry about that whole situation for next week instead. If I was working for the WWE, I would come up with that idea. The Cruiserweight the Cruiserweight Rumble to crown the first ever Cruiserweight champion. So much for WWE having good ideas, right? Nope. They decided to come up this idea instead. I mean, I'm not crapping on them that much, but whatever. But moving on. But yeah, we'll see who ends up being a new general manager. And on the show, they had Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph teasing who could be the general manager. Nigel McGuinness throw a name out there like Eric Bischoff, which that'll be nice because Eric Bischoff he was back in WCW, in WCW. Eric Bischoff was behind this whole cruiserweight thing, so why not have him be the general manager? Since they have him on WWE Raw, just to have him be out there just to show up there, and then we haven't seen him again after that. Yeah, I'll be fine for Eric Bischoff being the general manager. But also he started throwing the Raw Dog, and like, fuck the Raw Dog. That hashtag fire Raw Dog. How about that? But anyways, moving on. So what do we do to move on from Enzo Amore? Focus on the real cruiserweights. So we get Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado. And you gotta love how the commentators are saying, "Oh, Lince Dorado is back. He's back after taking months off and everything." Like, no, he didn't take any months off. He's been wrestling on dark matches. He's been wrestling in house shows. The fuck out of here with that. The nerve of WWE saying that Lince Dorado hasn't been on 205 Live for a while. And that's true. He has been on 205 Live. And you wonder why? Because he's been in dark matches. He ain't taking time off. The nerve of these WWE apologists try to insult our intelligence. But yeah, Lince Dorado, he's being back on TV because Enzo Amore is now gone. And like, so it took Enzo Amore being fired after being accused of sexual assault to bring back on TV. The fuck out of here, man. They're missing Lince Dorado, a Puerto Rican luchador wrestler, as a jobber. That's what they was doing with him. He was jobbing, and now they decided to put him back on TV to give him a major push. So anyways, so Lince Dorado is back. Of course, WWE, he's back. Even though he never left. He was backstage the entire time when it comes to all these 205 Live shows they've been doing every Tuesday night. But anyways, on Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado, they got their faction tag team name, whatever. It's called the Lucha Spirit. And they did their own pose in the ring, and like, okay, that's cool. So they went up against TJP, Ari Daivari, and Tony Nese. And the match happens, pretty good match. And we get Lince Dorado. By the way, TJP was protected in the match, by the way. Lince Dorado gets the win over TJP. And like, okay, so I guess we're gonna do something with Lindsey Dorado now. Hope so. So after the match, TJP, he's losing his mind. He's basically getting in Tony's face, and Tony pushes him down, and TJP once again, losing his mind. I look like he's about to cry, because I think they're still gonna try to do this whole angle where he's gonna be a crybaby and losing matches every time. So whatever, it's not gonna get him over though. People don't care. Drew Gulak, he's doing a campaign where he wants to be the first ever general manager for 205 Live, and I hope not. But it was entertaining the way he was on campaigning though. Because he's in a suit and everything. Yeah. Because he want to make because his gimmick is that he still wants to make 205 Live better. Because no high flyings and blah blah blah. Jack Gallagher versus Hideo Itami. Match itself, it was alright. But in the end, Hideo Itami goes for a weird finishing move that I ever seen before. Because he can't do the GTS anymore, so here's what happened. He's got Drew Gulak in the to look like he's getting on the Dragon Sleeper, but all of a sudden he transmitted it to Hideo misses on his knee, just one knee, and jumps up and gives like a code breaker type of move to Jack Gallagher. So basically, and yeah, Nigel McGuinness on commentary saying it's his version of the GTS. So that's his new version of the GTS. I thought that move was trash, folks, but he won with that move anyways. Whatever. Akira Tozawa, he was in the suit. He's like, new general manager for 205 Live. He's like, I could be the boss. So he walked up to one of the staff members in the suit. He's like, "You're fire," in this man's tone. I thought it was funny though. Main event time. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. Match happens. Awesome match. These two guys went back and forth. It was total non-stop action, except they kept doing a couple of rest holds when it comes to Mustafa Ali. But the action kept picking up back and forth from the end. So yeah, a lot of elevated moves between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. So in the end, Mustafa Ali, he goes to go for the inverted 450, which they're calling now the 054. And basically saying it in reverse. So he hits it but misses, and Cedric Alexander goes for the lumbar check and gets a 3 count in the win. So your winner, Cedric Alexander. After the match, Cedric picks up Mustafa Ali, and they shake hands. Mustafa Ali puts him over, and then Cedric Alexander puts him over. So yeah, they're showing some good sportsmanship, and at the end of the day, it was all about competition between these two friends. So there you go. That was 205 Live. But unfortunately, folks, when it comes to the 205 Live, this was half an hour, because they did the other half an hour for the weekly what's it called again? The Mixed Match Challenge. Speaking of which, let me get to quick results right now for the Mixed Match Challenge, and then I'll get back to the 205 Live about the Total Wrestling, and then how I feel about the show. 1 second. The results should be out right now. And you're going to watch that show on the Mixed Match Challenge on Facebook, and then they'll air it later on the WWE Network. All right, so the Mixed Match Challenge results: The Miz and Asuka defeats Big E and Carmella. Good. Fuck New Day, especially Big E. So there you go. So now let's get back to 205 Live. So when it comes to 205 Live, the Total Wrestling for 205 Live, 3 matches, and as far as my overall rating for the show itself, I think it did a good job for this show. It wasn't a bad show. I thought it was a good show, despite the how I felt about the Jack Gallagher and Hideo Itami match. But I thought show itself, I thought it was pretty good. After move away from Enzo Amore, yeah, a good start. So I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. So wrapping this up, folks, I'm done. Wow, this is the shortest review I did for SmackDown and 205 Live. So I'll wrap up from there. Thank you all for watching. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., the Natural Born Thriller. Please subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike this video, give it a dislike. The choice is yours and yours alone. And fuck Enzo Amore. Gotta do that in there. But that being said, thank you all for watching. You all guys have a good night. Tune in tomorrow as I do the preview for the Royal Rumble. And then on Thursday, I'll do a preview for NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. You know, basically doing previews for the Royal Rumble weekend for when it comes to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia and for the WWE Royal Rumble. 2018 Royal Rumble. So that being said, thank you all for watching. Take care. Peace on the streets. You all have a good night, and I'm out.